Hey guys, it's me Rhonda and I'm back with a different video today. No Disney, no Star Wars, no princess. Today is about Jaws. Universal Pictures 50th anniversary of Jaws the movie. I love this movie and I'm gonna tell you why. Just when you thought it was safe enough to go back into the water, it is the 50th anniversary of Jaws, the movie. Guys, this is one of my favorite films of all time. I love Jaws. I have always loved Jaws, and here's why. It scared the crap out of me. And Richard Dreyfuss. I am a huge Richard Dreyfuss fan. Richard, if you're watching, I love you. I love you in everything you do. But this movie, you're just chef's kiss. You're just amazing. I love you. So this book was written by Peter Benchley, and so was the screenplay. And Steven Spielberg, he really went out on a limb here with that mechanical Bruce, as we affectionately call him. Bruce was always breaking down. Bruce was a problem. They couldn't get him to work half the time. So that's why you have your imagination on those scenes where you may see a fin and nothing else, and your mind is racing and you're terrified. It's Alfred Hitchcock meets Steven Spielberg. There wasn't a lot of Bruce in the film because he kept breaking down. I love these stories, but I am a huge Jaws fan. I can't wait for the 50th anniversary coming June 29th, I believe it is. The movie is re-releasing. I know it's gonna release at separate times all over the country. I can't wait to get my tickets. We saw Jaws 3 in 3D at the theaters. That was a riot. At that time, there was a different fish and a lot of blood, and yeah, it wasn't as good as Jaws. You know, once you have the original, it's hard to improve upon. Once you get to Jaws 25, you pretty much know what's coming next. And so the real suspense of it all is not really there. But I'll tell you, I love this film. And the scene that really hooked me in was at the beginning where, you know, they're all having that barbecue at the beach, and that girl, she's flirting with that guy, and she runs down the beach and he's half drunk trying to follow her, and she takes off all her clothes and goes skinny dipping into the ocean. And then you hear John Williams. Can we just have a round of applause for John Williams? The man is a genius, and he did the score for this film. And that dun 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 doo doo, that whole music that is synonymous with Jaws, when that starts and you see him, you're looking through his eyes, Bruce, and you see him starting to emerge from the deep. Oh my gosh, that scene is so epic, and I can't wait to see it on the big screen. But they had this poor woman, I saw an interview with her. She was hooked up to pulleys on either side, and the crew was pulling her from the left to the right and back again, and she was praying. These are her own words. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but her own words. She says, I just hope that they didn't pull at the same time because they would have ripped me in half. So she was so courageous to first get in the water at night. Okay, can we just say getting in the water at night with just the moonlight, and then second, having that pulley system and just being like tossed and turned and dunked under and brought back up in that water. my hat's off to you, and I love that scene. It scared me so bad, and I was like, I'm afraid to go take a bath in the bathtub now. I was so afraid. But growing up in Southern California, we did go to the beach every summer. It was Bolsa Chica. Well, we have like a whole coastline, right? So PCH just has this long strip of water, and every little city that holds claim to that beach is, you know, Pismo and Venice and Malibu, Seal Beach, Bolsa Chica, you know, Corona del Mar, Huntington, it keeps going right down to San Diego. But I gotta tell you, we would go to Seal Beach, and my cousin and I would get out in the water, and her name was Kathy, and we would get out there and go in where the waves come topping in, you know, it's sloped, and then you hit that shelf point, and then we're back up on the shelf, because when you're in that little area where the waves come in and roll back out, it erodes the sand. So you're kind of like swimming to get out there, and then all of a sudden you hit the shelf and you're like, oh, and you climb up, and it's like waist high, and you're like, oh, okay, we're out here. But the thing is when you're out there, all the seaweed is wrapping around your legs, and the fish, the little fish, are coming by and they're brushing up against your legs. It is such a creepy experience, but you know, you're all the way out here now. What are you gonna do? And then my other cousin Charles and my uncle Jeff would boogie board out there. I've got so many fun stories, but I'm gonna tell you this one and then we'll get back to Jaws. So we were out there, it was one summer, gosh, we had to be 11, maybe 11, 12, 13. We're all stacked in a row like that. So Kathy and I were out there and having fun, getting burnt, burnt in the water, and having fun and feeling all of that swishing and slime and getting caught up in, you know, the seaweed. And sometimes we'd have to like pull it off, and it was so slimy, and it had like pockets of air, and we would just toss it to the side. And then, you know, we're out there having a good time, talking, singing, doing whatever. And then here, coming this way, are Jeff and Charles, and they're on their boogie boards. Now, I have two stories actually. So why they did this, I don't know, but they're little foam. They're not foam like a old cooler, a disposable cooler, or like foam plates. You know, it's not styrofoam. It's a step up from that. It's not a surfboard, but it's not a styrofoam board. It's a boogie board. It's styrofoam with, you know, coating and plastic sealing on there. They put these fins on the bottom of their board. So let's say that this is the board, and they have at the back, they have these fins that come down, and they swear it gives them better, you know, as they come in, it helps them, and they can whatever. So they're headed this way, and they're riding the wave, and we're like, hello, like, can't you see us? You're headed straight for us. So I do my level best to get out of the way, and Kathy, who is the youngest out of the whole group, she's trying to get out of the way, and she's like, I can't. So she goes under, right? And then they go by, and then I'm standing there, and Kathy comes up, and as she comes up, she screams, and I'm like, what happened? And we've already seen Jaws, right? But I'm like, what happened? What's going on? And the boogie board, the fins sliced right over her shoulder blade, and she has this gouge and blood, and I'm like, oh my God, she's all, oh, she just starts screaming, crying, and I'm thinking, blood, fins, and Jaws. I'm like, let's get out of here. And meanwhile, she's crying because it's burning from the salt water. It's bleeding. She just got mowed over by, she just got mowed over by a stupid boogie board, and I'm like, I gotta get out of here before Josh shows up, because her shoulder is chumming the waters. We were out there. This was another day, another week, and we're out there, and the waves were really choppy that day. They were really rough, and I remember, you know, Jeff and Charles were out there on their boogie boards, and I hear them screaming, "Go back, go back, go back." And we're like, "Is it Jaws?" And I'm like, "What? No, we saw eyes. We saw eyes." And I'm like, "Eyes. It can't be Jaws, because you only see one eye when it's Jaws, because the other eye is over here." And I'm thinking, what is it? Well, it ended up being some seals that were out, and they made a big, you know, the drama of being 13 and at the beach, right? And so the waves were really choppy, I remember, and we had gone out too far, because, you know, we usually, when the shelf starts, we only go about 5 or 6 feet beyond that, but we had gone out, and I think we had been pulled out just from the natural wave of the ocean. I think we got pulled out a little further, and they were just coming down hard, and I was getting smacked in the face, smacked in the shoulder, and I'm like, we got to get out of this choppiness, right? And I told Kathy, let's go back. Like, this is too rough. Well, Jeff and Charles are out there on their tricked out boogie boards, and a wave came and just crashed over my head, and I went down. I inhaled a bunch of water, and I went down, and I was down. I don't know, I felt like I went to the abyss, and I feel this arm and hand lift me out, and I'm like, is this the hand of God? Who is lifting me up out of the water? I can't see, I can't breathe. I'm inhaling and coughing out water. My eyes, my nose, everything is burning. And then all of a sudden I feel my body fly on top of the boogie board. And my cousin Charles had rescued me by grabbing me. He saw me go under, and he went and grabbed me and then threw me on the boogie board and then pushed me back in, and I was choking. I couldn't see, I couldn't breathe. I was a mess, and I could have been eaten by Jaws if Charles hadn't rescued me. So even when in the summer, when we would go to the YMCA and swim, or we had a neighbor who had a pool, and you know, we would all go in there, and I'm allergic to chlorine, but I would go in there anyway because I wanted to be with my cousins, and I would be coughing and gagging and sneezing and itching and turning red, but I'm like, nope, I don't care, I'm still gonna swim with my cousins. But you know, we would go under, and I would like be looking for Jaws, and my parents would tell me, he can't live in chlorine. And I'm thinking, neither can I, you know? He's like, fish can't survive in chlorine, and it's too small of a space for Bruce to live in. But I was like, he can come, like, where is Jaws? This movie freaked all of us kids out, and we were like, we can't even go in the bathtub anymore, because this movie changed everything. And that's one of the reasons, one of many reasons why I love this film. It really did a mind trick on you, because you didn't see Bruce that much, but when you did see him, he was scary. And there are 3 scenes that I especially love in that film. Is when Roy Schneider is sitting there on the beach, and all the people are, you know, he's trying to get everybody off the beach, and he's looking and he sees something, and he's, you know, he's like this, and nope, it's just kids playing. And then he looks and he sees something, and no, it's just people. But then there he sees it, right? He sees Bruce, he sees Jaws, and the pan of the camera that zooms in on him, and everything else goes far away, and the look on his face. I'm getting goosebumps right now. That is one of my favorite scenes. Great cinematography, a moment that you never forget. I love Roy Schneider too. And then of course, when Richard Dreyfuss is tying they're the floaters, the yellow barrels, right? So that they can shoot him and track Bruce. And he's trying to tie it, and they're like, here he comes, you know, and the suspense is so, you're just the adrenaline, right? And you're like, oh my God, and like, here it comes. And you're like, they need to shoot to track Bruce. And Richard Dreyfuss is there, and he's doing his thing. And he says, don't wait for me. That is one of my favorite scenes because he is so focused, and he just says, don't wait for me, and he shoots it, and when he does this and the barrel takes off, he did his job and just in the nick of time. I love that scene. And then of course, you're gonna need a bigger boat. When Roy Scheider is chumming the waters and he turns around and up comes Bruce, and he's like, you're gonna need a bigger boat, because you see that scene where the orca is on the water. It's like a harbor boat. It's this little boat, and you know, it's like this, and here is Jaws. It's like, it's just no comparison. The shark is here and the boat is here, and you can see him from all angles of the boat. And I love that so much. Of course, the part that grossed me out so much was Richard Shaw, when he gets eaten and he's sliding down the boat. And should I have warned about spoiler alerts? Maybe I should have. But he gets eaten in half and all the blood comes out, and that freaked me out and grossed me out. And I was like, oh gosh, this movie has me on pins and needles. But it was such an amazing film to see for the first time. And then you watch it again, and you keep watching it, and you see something new every time, right? And then the singing part, show me the way to go home, right? It's such a good film, great film. I love it so much. I am well aware that Universal put this film out, but Universal is having this huge celebration this summer. They're selling cups, tumblers, popcorn buckets, t-shirts, hats, handbags, backpacks, you name it. It is, the fanatics of Jaws are gonna have their fun grabbing all of this amazing merch. I'm gonna try for a popcorn bucket and a tumbler, because I am so excited for this film. I'm telling you, Jaws is a classic. Jaws is what great filmmaking is all about. And it is an original film. You'll never see anything like this. It was made at the right time in the 70s. It just, I don't know, there's something about Jaws that is woven into the fabric of America and American cinema. And you think about Jaws every time you get in the water, or at least I do. And I love Bruce. I think he's great. But I really love Richard Dreyfuss. Oh my gosh. Richard, if you're watching, I'm a huge fan. I love you in all of your films. And this and The Close Encounters of the Third Kind were the two first movies of yours that I saw, and I love you in everything. The Goodbye Girl, Mr. Holland's Opus. Oh my gosh, every film you've done, I love it. But Jaws has left a lasting impression on me. I love your character. I love you as a person. I just am a huge Richard Dreyfuss fan. And everybody who was in this film did an amazing job. Every actor, every extra, all of the film crew, of course, Steven Spielberg, Peter Benchley, and John Williams. John Williams, I have to do a separate video about him altogether. He is so much Americana. His work, his body of work just is everywhere in the film industry, and he's so different in every project that he takes on, but you still know it's him. It has that John Williams sound and expertise and perfection. He is perfection. So guys, are you gonna go see Jaws in the theater? Again, it comes out I think it starts June 20th. That is its 50th anniversary, and I think it goes through into September. It's probably showing all summer long, all across the country. I'm not sure about out of the United States. I'm sure there will be some dates here or there. So guys, I am super excited to go run out and get my popcorn bucket and my drink tumbler and my t-shirts, my ball cap. I think there is a crossbody bag. I am crazy about Jaws. I have huge geek fangirl over Jaws, over Bruce, over the whole thing, Richard Dreyfuss, you name it. I am a huge fan, and I am going to get all Bruced out and go see this movie. Are you going to go see this movie, and are you going to get the merchandise that's available? You can buy it online, or you can go to Universal Studios Florida or California and pick up your own Bruce merchandise. I cannot wait, guys. This is such an exciting time. We just had 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith, and now 50th anniversary of Jaws. I am so ecstatic. I can't even tell you how excited I am for this film. So I will be going, as always. I will bring you up to the minute news on merch and popcorn buckets and where to see it, all the fun Jaws things. I know they're having events over on Martha's Vineyard this summer in June. It's all sold out. It should be on all your news channels or your entertainment channels, and of course YouTube if you want to check that out. But I will be following this story. I love Jaws. Bruce, I love you. You changed my life in a bad way. And you still scare me, and I have been to Universal and I've seen you come out and you're really cheesy there, but I'm telling you, the mind can play tricks on you. And if I'm in the bathtub and afraid of Bruce, then Bruce has done his job. Okay guys, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.